Google the most beautiful cat in the world, and the first and most frequent photo you'll see is of this white-haired, blue-eyed cat. I'm Rebecca.
And I'm John.
And this is Coby. This all started in 2015. We had only been dating a few months and I really wanted a cat. Started looking online and fell in love with the British Shorthair breed. They're just so cute, almost cartoonish looking. They're like so round and expressive, and was sort of doing some research and found a Shorthair breeder in the area and immediately fell in love with a little cross-eyed, adorable Coby online. He wasn't named Coby yet at the time.
We drove up, it was in Delaware. One of his brothers actually caught my eye and I was like, oh look at this cat, he's cute. And Rebecca was like,
no way, absolutely not. I knew Coby was the one. He came right over to us. He actually fell asleep in my arms, which was just, my heart melted. And I was like, I need this cat. We always thought that Coby was so cute when we first met him as a kitten, but as he's gotten older, pretty early on, he started developing this, like, we call it guyliner. He has these very distinct, like, outlines around his nose and his eyes, and it just gives him this, like, intense, beautiful appearance. His eyes themselves have this almost anime look to them. He looks like a cartoon. I always joke, he looks fake. He looks like a stuffed animal. More importantly, maybe to us from the start, was how great he is. Loyal and sweet and in a lot of ways dog-like. I mean, he sleeps in my arms every night. He is just like the biggest sweetheart.
But there's also the sassy side. He wears his emotions kind of on his face. He's very vain. Loves to look at himself in the mirror. We
suspect that he might actually know how beautiful he is.
Yeah. The world revolves around Coby. So when Rebecca started posting pictures of Coby, me in my head, I was like, you know, Rebecca, why are you doing that? You're just being another crazy pet owner who's posting pictures. We all have that friend or two or 10. And she kind of told me, she's like, no, just don't worry about this. She's like, trust me, this is gonna be good. This isn't that. And I was like, okay, it's not that.
It was kind of that.
Yeah. I mean, at the time I thought it was. I think you maybe had some more foresight into things.
But never expected that it was going to take off like it did. People started responding to his pictures the same way that I was when I first met him, and I was like, okay, we're onto something here. It's not just us thinking our cat is the cutest thing ever. Other people are agreeing. Yeah. After I posted a few pictures of him, Hats of Instagram, 9gag, some of those bigger kind of featuring accounts started reposting and sharing pictures of Coby. The next thing we know, he's on the front page of Reddit. And then we saw that he got this feature on Bored Panda, but all of a sudden we started seeing all these headlines of, is this the most beautiful cat in the world? And this cat's eyes are...
This eyeliner is better than mine.
Yeah, there were all these like memes going up online. We were seeing him across the internet in People. He was in People magazine, and I was like, this is crazy.
The fan art started coming in as well. Photoshop edits of Coby. There were nail designs, graffiti.
Tattoos that people have gotten, like permanent tattoos on their body of Coby. Makeup inspired by him to try to recreate his iconic eyeliner. Incredible portraits and paintings and anime style cartoons, stuffed doll versions, everything you can imagine.
People put a lot of time into these things, which to us is even more special.
You know, this was always just a side hobby for us, but we started hearing from brands.
Purina, 9 Lives, Petco, starting with, cat brands. And then other types of brands started reaching out.
Spotify with their pet playlists, KVD Vegan Beauty because of his inspiring eyeliner. Seeing Coby on TV talking about blood donation with a voiceover was the coolest moment.
Not enough people are giving blood, and giving saves 12,000 lives a day.
And that was just such an awesome way to use his account for good. We've made more from Coby than we ever expected to make in our wildest dreams.
We're very unique and fortunate.
We just think it's important that he is always, benefiting. We definitely try to give him the best life possible, and the best food, toys, and beds, and
cat mansions.
Yeah, treat that you can imagine. He is one spoiled cat. Not force him to do anything he doesn't want to do. We really plan our shoots around him and his schedule and his moods. He has it pretty good.
Obviously making money and working with brands is a wonderful part, but the better part to us is the joy that he spreads and how he cheers people up. As far as what's next for Coby, who knows? If he's gonna be, you know, featured in a James Bond movie, we don't know. Maybe.
We hope. That would be pretty cool. Call us.
Yeah.